Okay. Here we go. Okay, the simplest path to peace and joy. Here we are. Okay, this is basically it. And we see and hear the golden rule a lot, but it's such a huge concept. And this is what I'm going to focus on. So whether I follow the golden rule or not will make the difference between having a joyful, peaceful day or a stressed, depressed day. Yeah, it's like all my pain and suffering and negative feelings come from a belief that I have treated someone else in an unloving way, that I would not want to be treated. Is that it? Yeah. Throughout any one day, I make many choices and decisions all day long. Now, if I take the time and listen to the loving truth in my heart, and if that choice feels loving, caring, respectful, and is in alignment with my beliefs, I will experience the peace of oneness. I'll be one with my true loving self. But if I feel swayed in any way that goes against what I sense is loving, honest, and in alignment with my heart's knowing, I will feel separated from myself. And that is separation. It's that simple, that's separation. Oops. I think that's it. Yep. So all we have to do is to treat other people the way we would love to be treated. Speak to people the way we would love to be spoken to. And think about others the way we would love to be thought about. So it's just all getting in touch with our love. And we will have peace. I will have peace when I do that. I've got this lovely quote from the Dalai Lama. There is no need for temples, no need for complicated philosophies. My brain and my heart are my temples. My philosophy is kindness. So, and I'll explain more why this is so important. So it's kindness. It's treating people with love. It's not just simply being kind. And there's a reason for it. Okay. Some examples of separation. So when we're not treating people like we know how we want to be treated, might be cutting somebody off in traffic, overspending when I know I shouldn't, gossiping, hitting somebody, keeping secrets from people you love, or lying, right? But also some are really subtle. Like you might be in a relationship with somebody that you're with all the time, and you don't realize, or we don't realize that we're not talking to them the way we want to be treated. So it takes us to be mindful. So what happens when I go against what I believe is loving? When I choose another path, I experience great pain. This is the only pain. This is the root of all our pain. This separation is the real source of all pain. We call it guilt. But what guilt really is we have separated from our loving, guiding belief system that represents who we are. And when we treat someone else in an unloving manner, we actually feel as if we've done it to ourselves. And that will make us very sad and frightened. We actually feel it. We can talk about somebody, maybe unlovingly, and they won't actually feel it or know it, but we will be the ones who experience it. It comes through us, and whatever we do to somebody else, we experience it. I can convince myself that I really need another dress, or I can feel validated by saying something negative about someone, by finding someone else to agree with me, or I can tell myself it's okay to tell a white lie, but I won't get away with it. My heart knows. And this is the source of all the disharmony in my life. And next week, I'm going to show how this, like a domino effect, creates all the disharmony in our lives. But also, I'm going to discuss how we can dissolve it and how we can change it. Today, we're doing the golden rule. By choosing to be loving and truthful, this connects us all. It is, and it's not about being a good girl or a good boy or following moral standards. I was struggling with this, and Beth Langford, a friend of ours, just reminded me that, when we're trying to be moral and good, this is in our head, right? These are like following judgments and rules. But what we want to do is we want to come from loving, from the loving in our heart. So this not only connects us to ourselves, which feels great, but by following that simple loving truth connects us to everything. And when I express love to you, I am giving that love to myself at the same time. Pick my cat up. There. There. I feel it too. I experience it. Just like anything negative I put out, anything loving I give, we start to see we're actually giving to ourselves. Every time we're doing something loving, we start to feel it all within ourselves when we become aware of that. Everything in the universe is connected to the frequency of this loving truth. Truth connects us all. If we were all taking the time to be connected and live from our hearts, honest, integral, loving knowing, the whole world would be in harmony. And here we go. Doing unto others as we would have them do unto us. This appears to be a simple, non-tangible thing, but it's the most rewarding, peace-giving thing I can ever do. The simple choice changes my inner and outer world. I might think winning the lottery or having a successful career will feel fulfilling and successful, but this connection to my loving truth, it could happen in a career, but it's this connection to my loving truth. And when I extend my love, when I express my love, this is where all my feelings of joy, success, fulfillment, and peace come from. And this is the last slide. And I've just got one more that tells us about next week, but this is the last slide for today. So following the golden rule is a piece of cake, right? Well, no, it isn't. It's simple, but it's really complicated. And that's why we still suffer. I won't believe it or stick to just doing this simple thing unless I keep a few things in mind. So what I'm going to invite us to do this week is just simply be aware. So it's just awareness, and we can discuss this after. So catch yourself, because throughout the whole day, we're given choices whether to follow our heart or to be led into temptation to do something that goes against what we think is loving. But just simply be aware of whether we are treating, thinking, or speaking to others the way we want to be treated, spoken to, or thought about. So the whole idea this week is just be aware, be mindful, and notice it. And this is the key. That's all we have to do. We don't even have to change anything. Just be mindful and aware. Because the more we become aware, then we will be able to do it. Number 3, if I don't choose the golden rule, so let's say we don't treat others like we want to be treated, most important thing is not to beat ourselves up. Just be aware. Don't beat yourselves up, because as soon as we beat ourselves up, we spiral down and we will repeat it. But also, too, don't deny it. Don't deny, oh, okay, like don't try and rationalize it. So be aware of it. Because what happens is the ego wants to get in there. So we've tried to set up this whole world saying this will protect us. If I look this way, this will make my life better. If I eat this will make me feel better. So as soon as we just start to go on a different path, we will start to fight it and say, that's not true. That's ridiculous. So that's why I've broken this up into 4 different talks. So the first one, all this week, just notice. And I promise you, this is powerful stuff. It's simple, but super powerful. And then next week, it's a gradual process of changing. I've been living through my ego's world for 58 years, so it'll take time. And next week, I'll also show you that we're given opportunities all through the day. So we don't worry about any one of them. We just carry on and try and live by the golden rule for the next opportunity. Okay, this is a really happy slide to end with. Sorry. So next week, I'm going to go to a deeper layer with this simple golden rule and explain how we create the negative facts, sickness in our lives, and how to dissolve them. And I will show us how the guilt projects and seeks punishment. And I will also show how there's always forgiveness for myself and others, and how to put our hearts and minds completely at rest. So it's really, really moving forward show next week. Okay, so that's it for today. And I'll just check in with you guys. Here.